Homelessness in America, the numbers are growing. The United States experienced a rise in homelessness from 23 to 24. Homelessness increased 18% from 653,000 during the 2023 point of time to 771,000 during the 24 point in time. Demand for homelessness services is on the rise with no end in sight. Are we at 1 million yet? How about mental health? How much is that playing into homelessness? Are they going hand in hand? Come back as I'm joined by Judge Chad Cox and Henry County Sheriff Josh Frey. We're going to tackle this issue. We'll be right back.
The Mike Weatherford Show is proud to announce we are now officially powered by TEC. If their fiber optic internet service can handle everything we throw at it here in the studio, from videos to calls and live streams, you better believe they can handle your home or business too. If speed, stability, and service is important to you, you can count on TEC. Thanks, TEC. Now let's get to the show.
Recorded live in the studios of Brewer Street Mafia. This is a Red Dog Fred production.
And now, your number one rated show, The Mike Weatherford Show. Here's your host, Mike Weatherford.
Hey, welcome back to the Mike Weatherford Show. I'm your host, Mike Weatherford. Hey, have you noticed that the number of mental illness is on the rise? Homelessness, it seems to be rising across the country, across our state, and it's even right here in Henry County. We've all noticed how it's growing in leaps and bounds and don't like no end in sight. So I've got a couple of guys in here tonight that's going to talk with us what they deal with on an everyday deal with this mental illness and homelessness and everything that goes with it. I want to welcome first, in no particular order, but he happens to be on my left tonight, is Henry County Sheriff Josh Frey. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Good evening, Mike. Glad to be here.
I appreciate you coming on, brother. Everything going good?
All good.
That's
as
good.
usual.
That's good. And I want to introduce that the judge appointee, he's the new judge, I call it. The new judge is in town. Appointee judge was going to be our general session juvenile judge. It's just a matter of days before this happens. Welcome, Chad Cox. Welcome to the show, Judge.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man. Everything going good?
Going great. Looking forward to February 1st.
That's coming up quick, ain't it, brother?
It is.
A lot of work preparing.
We're going through a lot of things and looking at new ideas and just keep things rolling.
Well, you keep doing what you're doing, brother. You got the community's got you back, brother.
Well, I appreciate all of them.
All right, guys. We've been talking about everybody has across the country. It's not a Henry County. It's a national problem that tends to be growing. Is mental illness along with homelessness. I think they go hand in hand. And I think I'm gonna start with you, Sheriff, because I think you're the first one that runs across this issue with mental health and homelessness. So is that getting to be a larger part of what you do as a sheriff of Henry County?
Definitely on the mental health side of things, Mike. We see those numbers, I feel like, growing. We have a large mental health issue, not just in Henry County, of course, statewide. I talk with most of the sheriffs across the state all the time, and everybody's seen it. We deal with it on the streets. We deal with it in our jails. Does some of that go hand in hand with some homeless population? Sure it does. In Henry County, we have homeless. A lot of that is inside the city limits of Paris. So we, as the sheriff's office, don't have a day-to-day role in that. I'm not saying there's not some homeless in certain areas of the county that we deal with and have dealt with, but a lot of that is inside the city, and we still deal with that. But a lot of times we deal with that as a second-hand. City police deals with it. We may end up dealing with them if they have to bring them to jail or whatever. Right. And then they're assessed from that point forward.
You're right, because the sheriff runs the jail, the city brings her.
That's correct.
You're seeing a rise in mental health issues at Henry County.
I agree. Yes.
So what happens if, let's say me, because, I'm crazy and everybody kind of knows that and there's no cure. But just say, on a serious note, if I do something that mental illness is the culprit, and you have to arrest me, what happens?
So
you don't carry me to Western State Bolivar, as we used to call it.
That's correct. So typically, what'll happen if you're arrested and we deem that there's some type of mental health issue going on, two things there. Some people aren't arrested. We'll say they're what family calls, somebody calls, somebody's in a mental health crisis. We respond. That person's taken to the Henry County Medical Center. So with that being said, they're evaluated by Carey Counseling there. Carey Counseling deems if what their mental status is, whether they need to be further evaluated. They will find a mental health or try to find a mental health bed for them somewhere, or they can release them back out. If they say they're good enough to go, they'll release them back out onto the streets.
Wow. So I guess it's not against the law to be crazy.
Not against the law to have a mental health issue.
Yeah, okay. So, but once they get out of your hand, when you turn them over to Carey Counseling, basically it's kind of in their ballpark, and they tell you as the sheriff or the sheriff's department what to do with these people, correct?
That's correct, yeah. And so if they have to be transported to whether it be Western Mental Health there in Bolivar or some other facility, it may be a private-run facility, we receive a grant. It's called a mental health transport grant.
Henry County does?
We get that.
Okay, transport grant. I hate to butt in, Sheriff, but that means that's just to transport them.
That's just to transport
It's
them.
not to deal with. It's not to help issue. It's just the sheriff's department to get them to Bolivar.
That's correct. So what that grant does, up until about 2 years ago, anybody that need to be transported to another facility, the sheriff's office was responsible. So that took a deputy off the road, maybe for 2 to 3, 4 hours while they're transporting wherever they need to go. Now we contract with a mental health transport company that we get state grant funds for. And they come, we call them, they come pick them up from the hospital, they transport them where they need to go.
What happens when it's a criminal? Then they go to the courts.
So on the criminal side of things, in a lot of cases, somebody's arrested for a criminal offense, and they may have some type of mental health issue going on. They go to the courts. Court issues for them to have a forensic evaluation. They come back to jail and they sit with us until Western or wherever they're going to get their forensic evaluation. Typically, it's Western says, "Hey, we're ready for them," and we take them to get their forensic, and then we go back and pick them up and bring them back to jail.
Wow. So, Judge, once it's a criminal issue, I can call you Judge. You're the judge.
Well, it would be February 1st. We swear sworn in that day.
I got to get in the habit. Okay. I don't want to call you Chad because there's respect you deserve. Once it becomes criminal and it's a mental health case, what can you do as a general sessions judge? What can you do?
Well, if it's a criminal case and they're taking the pathways, they do a forensic. Right? Most of the time, those take 60 to 90 days, correct, Josh?
That's correct.
And then they'll come back to the jail, and then pathways will send over the letter to their attorneys and say they're either competent or they're not.
I'm going to scoot this mic a little closer. There you go. It's cutting out in my ear. Go ahead.
Okay. And so at that point, if they're competent, then we just proceed with court, whatever we got to do in the court. If they're found to not be competent, that's when they'll send them off to Western down in Bolivar for further evaluation.
Right. So basically, it leaves Henry County, once it's distinguished that they have a mental health issue, it leaves Henry County. It becomes Bolivar, what we used to call, right? Is it still y'all's issue, or is it turned? I'm kind of lost here.
It's still our issue, as long as.
But they're treated by Western State, and they make decisions on it. Can they come back into society, or should they be put into a mental health center? And we don't have the beds.
So if they deem them incompetent, then they keep them down there to either medicate them, get them back on their medications until they deem that they are competent enough to stand trial or for whatever crime they've committed. If they're not, then they stay down there until they are.
Right. But do we have enough beds in this area? Because the numbers are staggering.
Well, Bolivar has 155 beds.
They was 1,100 at one time. Sheriff, I believe I'm mistaken.
No, you're correct. At one time, they had or we'll call it Western Mental Health. At one time, had 1,100 beds.
Okay,
and they are currently down to 155.
That's not because mental health is getting better.
Nope.
Okay.
Not in my opinion.
Okay. Well, y'all just chime in. There's no particular order here. We're just having a conversation. What the hell went from 1,100 to how many?
155. And total beds for the whole state. And you got to think, Western Mental Health in Bolivar covers, was it, Jeff?
24 counties in West Tennessee. Memphis has their own, but it only has 55 beds for Shelby County.
Wow.
So, I mean, and in the whole state, you have 177 total mental health beds that are state-run mental health beds, but of those, only 150 are staffed.
500.
550. 577, 550 are staffed. That's for the whole state.
What's happened, guys? If we went from we had 1,100 just in Western State. Is it because we don't think we had mental health issues, or in your opinion, either one of y'all? With the mental health growing and the amount of beds shrinking, what the hell's happening, guys? Seriously, come on, what's going on?
Mike, doing a little research in the 50s and 60s, we went away from deinstitutionalizing people.
Right.
Doing more of an outpatient type thing. And so when you start taking those mental health beds away, money start going to other places.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to get those monies back.
So what you're saying, at one time, as the police would find somebody that they deemed to be mentally unstable, carry them to the courts, and you as a judge would send them to Western State to be evaluated, and all of a sudden we don't do that no more.
Well, we do, but the beds are.
Yeah, but why did the beds go away?
Well, I think because of money.
Money got issued other places. Money.
Okay, so
there was organizations several years back that started or thought that it was better to deinstitutionalize people and medicate people and get them out of the facilities instead of keeping them in the facilities for an extended period of time. They thought people would be better off at home. We'll just put it that way.
Well, that could be in the case, but that doesn't show it's working.
I agree with that.
It's not working, Judge. I mean,
well, in 2005, Governor Bresson cut 21,000 people with serious mental illness from 10-Carat Row.
Wow. Okay, so we've got more mental illness. And they can look back. Statistics show that when we started cutting funded for mental illness, the cases of mental illness escalated. I don't know if it escalated or just got to be known better. And we're still getting less beds. We're getting more mental illness, which is doing a lot of things. It's draining local. It's draining you. It's draining local. And homelessness. If y'all deal with the homelessness, how much of the homelessness would you say, Sheriff, as you deal with, is related to mental illness? Would you say it's a big number of it? Or I know it's not all of it. There's nothing exact.
No, and I'm not going to say it's all of it.
No, it's a big part of it.
But I would say 50, 60% of it is either mental illness or drug related is where your homeless come into.
Right.
Some type of abuse, alcohol, drug abuse type situation.
But do we know why that's on the rise? I mean, growing up in Henry County my entire life, I left here for a little while and I've come back. What has changed to where we never seen what we're seeing on the streets of Paris, Tennessee right today? I don't know how long. It's not been that long ago, Judge. I think you'd agree that it was just walking down the street, and we've gotten so used to it, we just ignore it anymore. We just leave it alone. We've always had a little of that, but what changed to where we're getting to where we don't pay attention no more to it? It's just pitiful. What the hell's going on?
Again, I'm no expert in this field by far.
Right.
But
you're going to have to deal with it.
I'm a concerned citizen like the rest of us when it comes. No one wants to see people living in tents on the railroad tracks.
Right.
I don't know what's caused it. But before, when I was a kid, you'd go to Nashville, you see homeless.
Yeah.
You never saw it here.
No, You didn't. And it wasn't as big in Nashville. Look at San Francisco, California, guys. It's tent cities out there. I mean, there's people living on the streets, and it's just rampant. I mean, I don't know what caused it, but you can't fix the problem if you don't know what caused the problem. But what we're doing now is not working, guys. Y'all can both agree. Can we agree on that what we're doing now is not working?
I agree with that. You know, and to just follow up on that a little bit, everybody realizes that we're getting more homeless. I'm not going to say we're overrun with homeless by no means.
No.
You know, my last few years I worked on the street at the city. I was fairly in tune with the homeless population. I was out there every night. I talked to a lot of them every night, knew who they were. And I'm sure the guys on the street working the city and in the county now, they know who they are and where they're at and how to find them. And
was
check
it locals?
Them. Some of it was, some of it wasn't. I would say a 50-50 mix on that.
So why are they coming? Why are they picking Paris? Is there weather? Now this is what that I doing this show. I did a little research. You know, you have to. I don't have no notes except my opening, and I ask people the question: What do you think's causing this? You know, you'll get as many answers, Judge, as you get, and they say we're enticing it. We're feeding them. We're clothing them. We're putting out food pantries. And I said, well, what are you supposed to do when you got mental illness? And the mental illness and homelessness, to me, they go hand in hand because the ones that I see, as a rule, you know, not all of them have a mental illness. I mean, they walking down the streets, and I have a business uptown that I see it every day. You know, I'm a first-hand witness to it. What are we doing? What are we going to? What do you want to see done? And Judge, I want you to answer when he gets done. What do you want to see done, Sheriff?
I mean, I think we do a pretty good job. Especially on the law enforcement side of things and community side of things with handling it. You know, as law enforcement, I know we go out and check. We open the warming shelters when it's time to open the warming shelters. You know, they are taken care of to a certain degree food-wise. I know several of the local or used to, I'm assuming they still do it, up and down Mineral Wells. Some of the food joints and convenience stores will take care of them food-wise.
Right.
But we don't go over and above taking care of them to the degree that it's just drawing them in by the droves. Right. And when I say that, people don't always think about them having a network. A lot of your homeless people, they choose to be homeless, for one. I've got family members that choose to be homeless, not here in Henry County. It's other parts of the country, but they've chosen to be homeless over the years. That was their choice. But they have a network. Most of them have a cell phone. Now, they may not have minutes on it or a service plan, but as long as they can get some Wi-Fi, they network. And so, you know, we don't go over the top, and I think we do a fairly decent job of handling them. You know, but we have some show up from time to time here from other parts of the state. We had some show up here not long ago within the past few weeks, and I don't know how it happened, but there was a transportation company that went to Nashville and picked these two up and brought them back to Henry County. The gentleman was originally from here. He wanted to come back here, and they brought him here. How they afforded that, I have no clue, but it happened.
Are y'all noticing the Judge? What do you think needs to be done? Do you think the answer is for the mental health part, which I think if we get mental health in check, it'll combat our homelessness problem too. Y'all both agree with that?
I would agree to a certain extent.
Yeah. I mean, it would help that. It's not going to completely do away with homelessness, but I think mental health plays a big part in our homelessness. What would you like to see the federal government and the state do? Because it's basically a city or parishes in the county of Henry counties in the state of Tennessee, but it's a statewide problem, and these people are coming from all across the state and, in your point, the country. What would you like to see done?
I'd love it if all of them had a home. You know, and I appreciate all the groups here in the county that provide support for them. That's what we should do, is try to help them out. And I don't have an answer, Mike, and I wish I did. If I did, I'd probably be a billionaire, right?
Sure, yeah.
But I think a whole lot of things have happened. We had COVID, and take your stance on COVID however you want to, but it still had an impact on mental health and homelessness. I think the lack of housing and the cost of rent has something to do with people being.
You're right. I'm seeing that. She's roll that back screen back down for me, Dana, if you would. I'm going to read you some of the comments that's coming in. I have a little monitor here that they keep me up to date on all the formats we're on. Somebody said mental health institutions were closed to mainstream these people. Somebody said mental illness should go get help, but there's little available. There are enough group homes for the mentally ill. I think we've touched on that. One said part of the problem is money. Rent too high and jobs not paying enough. I think you just touched on that.
Well, I think there was maybe a screen you're going to show later that we looked at earlier.
Yeah.
Average wage had to be $27 an hour to afford a 2-bedroom home.
Mm-hmm, that's right. And somebody said a combination of drugs, money problems, which leads to other problems. Some of this just the results of snowball effect of several factors. I think that's more what it is. I think it's when you leave the mental illness part out, I think it's a lot of factors that comes to homelessness. And somebody said Big Pharma wants these people to be subscribed to meds. It's because of money. And they say somehow PTSD. And vast majority of homelessness around the country is mental health issues. And I think I agree with that. I think it's predominantly. Start putting up some of them things we have back here, especially one, if you can find it, Kevin, it talks about up in East Tennessee is where this is from, but it's apparently accurate across the whole state. Show it up there for us if you would. The one about how much it costs to rent a house and how much it costs an hour. Okay, let me find that one. Okay, look at this right here. That's what you was talking about, Judge and Sheriff. This come out of Southeast Tennessee State of Homelessness report. The latest report from the Chattanooga Regional Homeless Coalition shows over 1,000 people experiencing homelessness in our region, a 12% increase from 2024. This is just a 25 prediction. 72% have a disabling condition. Nearly half have mental health challenges. That's where we're at. 48 have chronic health conditions. 60% have been homeless for more than 6 months. Fair market rent for a 2-bedroom unit requires $27.42 an hour, higher, now listen to this, higher than 76% of all the jobs in that area. Would you say that's pretty close to our area too?
I would think so.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I think we've all seen the housing market
jump
tremendously in the past few years. I mean, you look at I was growing up, what rent would be for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and what rent is nowadays for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's a whole lot different.
It's ridiculous. I mean, and I understand profit and I understand loss. That's something you have to deal with the budget. You used to buy a house for $50,000, put it on a rental market, and you didn't have to charge a bunch of money. But now that same house that cost you $250,000 with all the upkeep, it's going to cost more.
That's correct.
To rent that house out.
Yeah.
But there's got to be an area you're going to cross to where your rent's too high, nobody can afford it. Are we there? We're almost.
I think at $27 an hour.
Yeah, we're there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. And how about you? Do you think this would help? These what we call housing projects. What do you call it? Is that really the name of them? The housing projects we have around here, where the state pays for your housing.
Public housing.
Public housing. There you go. But you cannot be a felon.
Correct.
That's correct.
And
that's how many of these mental health and homelessness are felons.
Yeah.
Is that an issue, do you think?
Oh, I think so. There's a lot of people that have their convictions like that. They're not allowed to rent certain places. And
right. Should we work on that issue? Should a felon, should it be listed on a kind of felon? I mean, you don't want a child molester, I agree, but
I think a lot of that would go with like a lot of our laws are. There's got to be some stipulations on what you just said.
Yeah.
What is that felon?
Yeah.
Or what's that felony conviction for?
Right. Shouldn't that be
before you?
Yeah, they took a broad brush, in my opinion. Y'all in the law. I'm not. I'm just a.
Well, remember, this is a government subsidies.
Sure,
and
it
so
is.
the government's the one.
Right. Yeah.
Making these regulations.
Sure. I want that perfectly clear. Y'all are not doing this.
Right.
But I'm saying they tried to fix a problem with a paintbrush about that. Why? When they should have had an ink pen. You agree?
I can see where you're coming from.
Would that help
sure.
if we loosened up the housing issue? I mean, could y'all see that helping, or is that just?
I don't know.
You think some of them wouldn't want it anyway?
Well, I think, but here in Henry County, I mean, just speaking, all those places are full. So it's the lack of affordable housing for some of them.
Yeah, it is. It's a sad, and I don't know the answer to this. Now, I'm not an economist. I'm just an auto mechanic. That I'm probably just a couple of weeks from being homeless myself. You know, we all are really in that. If you really want to know the truth, because you're a businessman, becoming a judge, and you're a sheriff, but you know, all of us are not immune to that. I mean, there's been billionaires go broke. You know,
Sure.
But
Well, a lot of it goes back to that slide there that showed 60% of people having some kind of health care
yeah,
problem. You know, this is another topic for another day, but the
It-
cost
it
of
fits
health care,
in.
the cost of health care is driving people to be on the streets.
It is. I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, you go to the doctor's office and you have any kind of health issues, and you're looking at big money just to be able to get. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just to treat yourself, and some people just don't have that kind of money. I think we've left a group of people behind. You know, the country's better off today than it was 20 years ago. We've left a group behind. You know what I'm saying? We've left a big part of our community behind us, and we don't know how to catch them up with us. Would you say that's kind of correct?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Read some more stuff here. Somebody said a judge told her they wish they could do more to work with people and keep them in their home. But it's so easy for landlords to evict. That I don't know. Judges can only give you 10 days to be out of your home, and paychecks aren't getting bigger. People have to move. They have no choice. I guess that's true. Law enforcement can't take on everything. They need help, more funding, and staff for resources. I have to agree. Someone said it. Many don't see it. Is it even? It's moving. Hold on. Jennifer said many don't see is even if they're offered to help, many refuse. That's true too.
That's very true.
They don't live with rules. Drugs can't be brought in there. Can't bring their partners to sleep in their same bed. I don't understand what that means. But that's how she wrote it out. But that's true. Some of them don't want help.
That's true. And a lot of them self-medicating. That's where they are now.
Yeah.
Josh can tell you, we've seen people that have gone to Bolivar or Western State, and they get on prescribed medicines and they do really good, and they come back home and they don't follow the doctor's advice and the doctor's orders, and they start self-medicating, and then they back in the court system.
That or they just don't medicate, period.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of it too. They go to, we'll just say Western, because that's who serves us.
Sure.
They get them medicated. They get them leveled out on their medications, and they were released to come back here. Well, they were in a structured environment there.
Mm-hmm.
They were, there's a nurse or somebody coming in every 4 hours, giving them that medication or daily, making sure they're taking that medication. They get out here, back at home on the streets, they don't have that structured environment to give them that medicine anymore. And so goes back to what Chad says is they start self-medicating in other ways instead of taking the medicine that are prescribed a lot of times.
Yeah, you're right. I can see that. There's really not an answer because you can only do so much as law enforcement as the judge. You can't, you can lead a horse to water, I guess is what I could say, but you can't make him drink. But it is a lot of this drug and homelessness and mental health. I know mental health is not, but a lot of it's self-induced.
Mental health's definitely not self-induced.
No.
I don't think. Well, let me take it back a second. Let me walk that comment back. Most mental health is not self-induced. There is some mental health that's self-induced from years and long-term of some type of substance abuse.
Right.
That does lead to some mental health issues. But let me go back just a second, Mike. We were talking a little bit earlier, and I will leave names out of this, but you're asking what the court system can do and what type of burden it puts on me as the sheriff and as my jail staff. We actually had this happen within the past year. Young person go to the Western, get medicated, come home, quit taking meds, get rearrested for something, for shoplifting, whether it's criminal trespass, whatever it may be, get rearrested. This was a ongoing process for a couple of years. Next thing that happens is judge orders a mental stay for this person. Judicial committal is what we call it. So we send this person back to Western, and even though it's a judicial committal ordered, we go down. Person's there about 3 months. Western calls, says, "Hey, you need to come pick this person up." We're like, "Why? They're on a judicial committal." Well, we don't have any judicial committal beds open right now, so y'all got to come get her, bring her back to jail,
And babysit.
for 3 months.
Wow.
Until they call back and say, "Hey, we got a bed open for you now." Now, and the whole time they're in our facility, we're not equipped. We don't have the equipment. We don't have rooms to put these people in any type. So they're in general population. It's a mess to have to deal with that. We're not mental health professionals.
No.
These people need
You're
mental
law
health.
enforcement.
These people need mental health professionals.
I lost a great friend of mine to mental health, and I'm going to say his name, Junior Staggs.
That's right.
Y'all both know was a great
That's correct.
part of the community. Did a lot for this community, and there's no one can understand. Well, Junior had the world in his hand, and he did. He did so much for this community. He's very well missed. And if Junior Staggs could not get the help that he needed with his mental health issues, where is their help?
Well, and you think about he had
And knew it. And
and two, he had the ability.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
To reach out to those resources, and I think he did reach
He
out
sure
to
did.
those resources.
It helped save people's life. I had a man call the show, I hate to butt in, but called in and said he was in the woods, had a gun to his head, and his phone rung, and it was Junior Staggs called him. Talked me down for that, said he saved my life, but we could not save Junior's life. Junior couldn't save his own life. So mental health is an issue.
Well, Mike, this is from 2022 from the State Department of Mental Health, but 937,000 Tennesseans suffer from some mental health condition.
Yes. Wow.
937,000.
A million people. Let's round it to a million. He's got almighty.
And we all suffer from some sort of mental health. We have depression or anxiety, but
or just crazy like I am.
well,
I do a talk show. That ought to tell you something.
and so I think there's a stigma that's been placed on mental health for so many years. And one thing that I've seen,
You're right. Let me butt in a second. I'm sorry, Judge, but we've got to quit that. Mental health is an issue, just like cancer, just like heart attacks, diabetes. Mental health is not something to be ashamed of. It's a disease, just like the rest of them out there. And we have done a piss poor job, folks. And I take this and I mean it, of trying to stigma that mental health. Don't say that. When I was a kid, we hid it. No, don't say nothing about that. Don't say nothing about that. We need to put it on the front porch and give it a glass of sweet tea. We got to get mental health up there with the rest of the disease. And I'm sorry, Judge.
well,
Go ahead.
and that's just like the Henry County Prevention Coalition. If you see these signs out in people's yards, you matter or
Yes,
you're
sir.
not alone.
Yeah, we've got them in my shop.
And so, they're trying to help and get the word out. And people that suffer from mental health, it's okay to ask for help.
It is.
Yeah.
And this county will help you.
I think this conversation
110%.
needs to happen. I've lost a good employee to mental health issues. He took his own life. We've lost Junior Staggs. We've lost a lot of good community members that was helping this community, and we tend to act like mental health is something we need to hide in the back. We got to take a commercial break. We get back. We got some statistics I want to show. We're going to continue this conversation with Henry County Sheriff Josh Frey and General Sessions Judge Chad Cox. We're going to be talking and making sure that we all on the same page about mental health and how it goes in with homelessness. We'll be right back.
Chad Cox, PLLC, provides representation in the areas of criminal law, family law, personal injury, wills and probate law. Chad Cox serves Paris and the surrounding area. He does not believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to representing his clients. He reviews every detail of your case to ensure that you receive an assessment that is specific to the unique circumstances in your case. Chad Cox is located at 104 North Brewer Street, Paris, Tennessee. Contact us at 731-642-4446.
The Downtown Event Center is available for parties, meetings, or family get-togethers. The center comes with spacious seating and an area that will help make serving food easier. If you are having a birthday party, this is definitely the place for you. The Downtown Event Center is located at 107 South Brewer Street. Contact Jessica at 731-642-4992 to make your reservation.
Is your tank on empty? For best gas prices in town, fill up at 54 Fuel Mart, 1213A Westwood Street. And don't forget your other tank. Grab hot fried chicken, wings, pizza, and on Tuesdays and Fridays, the best fried fish around. Got a sweet tooth? We've got freeze-dried candies, candy bars, and more. Rainy day? Stay dry and use our drive-up window. Farmers, we've got your dyed diesel plus parking for big rigs. Open 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. If you're feeling lucky, play the lottery or grab a scratch-off while you're here. 54 Fuel Mart at the Westwood Y. More than just fuel.
Are you still undecided about your high-speed internet provider? Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Weatherford Show. Let me help you off the fence. TEC high-speed internet is what we use here at the studio, and let me tell you, it's flawless. From home to business, TEC got you covered. With upload speeds that match download speed, TEC leads the pack. Does your family play online games? How about security cameras and live streamers in your home? TEC, with their upload speed matching their download speed, it's as fast as clicking a button. When it comes to high-speed fiber optic internet, TEC is unmatched with quality and service all across the Mid-South. So do like I did. Go get you some.
Hey everyone, this is Jeremy Buckaloo reminding you to tune in to Sportscast with Jeremy Buckaloo live every Sunday night at 7:30 here from the Brewer Street Mafia Studios.
All right, folks, I got a good one coming in next week. That's December 16th. I'm sitting down with Monty Fritz. He is a candidate for the state of Tennessee's new governor. Who is Monty Fritz? What's he about? What's he got planned? And I want to find out. So we got Monty Fritz coming in. He's a candidate for Tennessee governor. Be on my show live with me in the studio next Tuesday, December 16th at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss this. Let's find out who this guy is. I've heard of him, but I've never really had a great conversation with him. I'm going to find out who he is, what he's got on his mind, what plans he's got, and what he's going to do for you and I if he becomes the next governor of Tennessee. It's going to be a great show coming up next week, 7 p.m. right here live on the Mike Weatherford Show. Hey, don't forget, coming up on Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckaloo, December the 14th, Caden Marshall, one-on-one with Caden Marshall. I don't know what part 2 means. I guess that means there's been a part 1. So just, hey, that's going to be coming up live Sunday, December the 14th at 7:30 right here on Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckaloo, one-on-one with Caden Marshall. You don't want to miss. It's going to be a great, great show. Also coming up over here on the Tennessee Informer, Zy Van Fleet. I lived through this once. She's a survivor prospect on America's Moment. I think if I'm not mistaken, she survived through the Ming Dynasty over in China. Somebody said something in my ears. The Mao. Yeah, over in China. I don't know nothing about her, but I've read about her. She went through hard, but she can tell you what it's like living through communist, socialist in China. And is it headed to us? I think that's what it's going to be about. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a great show when you got somebody that lived through that, and she's a revolution survivor. She survived through all that. So coming up on the Tennessee Informer Monday, December 15th at 7 p.m. That's going to be a great show. And don't forget the Peddler. Have you picked up your free copy? Hey, when you do, you'll find all the great shows, the Mike Weatherford Show, the Tennessee Informer, and Sportscast with Jerry Bucklew. They're listed every week in the Tennessee and the Peddler, and there's 35,000 of these things served across 9 counties. You know what? You can place your 20-word ad, classified, and running for 4 weeks for only $10. What a bargain. Hey, go get your local Peddler. It's free. Pick it up, carry it home, read it, and there might be something you need in there. The program guide for us is right there. Hey, don't forget we're simulcasting live on both Facebook and YouTube. We're everywhere. We need to update that sometime when I can figure out where all we're at. We're on all the major platforms. If you want to find us, go to www.myparistv.com to find out more about all the great shows that's going on. Kill Media and Brewer Street Mafia. Hey, it's going to be your Brewer Street Kill Media. All you got to do is find us, follow us, and watch us, and you'll be glad you did. Hey, I got a great thing I want to share with you. If you've gotten your TEC fast fiber optic internet yet, if you've already got it and you can get your family and your friends, or once you get it, get your family and your friends, because every time you get someone signed up, listen to this, folks, you get a free month. So all you have to do is get your family or your friends to sign up, and there's no limit. So what it means is you can possibly get, if you get in yours early, okay, here's what you do. You get your TEC internet hooked up, and start getting your family and your friends, and yours becomes free. You could get the first 24 to 36 months free if you get that many people to sign up. It's a great internet. That's what we're using at the studio. They're a big sponsor of the Mike Weatherford Show, and I'm telling you, I'm speaking from someone that uses their internet. There's nothing like TEC fast fiber optic internet. It's the way to go. All right, folks, we've been sitting here talking with Sheriff Josh Frey and Judge Chad Cox about mental health, homelessness. That's a hard word to say, guys. It really is for an old country boy like me. And especially just had a lot of dental work done, and my jaw's still swole up. But anyway, we've been talking about homelessness and mental health, and it's kind of lead over into drug abuse. So I've been sitting there talking with these guys, and we got some statistics we want to put up, and I'm gonna bring that up. Start running through them statistics we got back there. This is published a month ago. The homelessness rate per 100,000 people. It shows that Tennessee has 115 people per 100,000, which is 8,300 people approximately. Them are the numbers they could count, and to tell you that there's probably more because there's some of them are hidden. If you do the math, if somebody got a calculator back here real quick, there's 95 counties in Henry County. Let's average it to 10,000 people. What would that be per county? So you take 10,000 people, divide it by 95. I had my phone. I would do it if you did it down in the back. Got to tell you statistically how many homeless they are. Now, I know Memphis, Nashville, the bigger cities are going to have more of them, but that's going to leave Henry County 65 to 75 people that's homeless right here in our good, great county of Henry. That's something, guys, Sheriff and Judge. To think that in our little community, probably 75 or maybe 100 homeless people here.
And I think, too, just
loosen up those gates on these microphones. They're too tight. Go ahead.
Just talking a little bit about that. People think homeless is the ones we see walking down the street every single day.
Right.
Yes. Most of those are homeless.
Right.
We recognize that. But what people don't see either is there's a lot of people out here that find somewhere to sleep in their car overnight. Or
they're not in them figures. That's right.
They're, you know, well, or they're just not out there where people are seeing them all the time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. What is going on with the sheriff's microphone? Okay, keep talking. He said he's working on it. Okay.
But what I'm saying is there's a lot of people that are finding wherever they can each night to lay their head. And that may be in their car, that may be at a family member's house, that may be a hotel for the night. Maybe they got enough money for the day to get a hotel room. Maybe somebody helped them with a hotel room.
That's expensive.
It's very expensive, but there are organizations in town that help with those. A lot of your ministerial associations, a lot of your churches will put people up in a hotel room for a night to just get them off the street, especially this time of year when it's so cold outside and we're really coming into that wintertime season.
Sheriff, that's just patching it.
It is.
That's not going to stop the boat
No, I
from
agree.
sinking. We need to look at long-term solutions. We need to find out, I guess this goes back to my auto mechanic. What caused this problem? What can we do to fix this problem? What can we do to prevent it happening again? And I think, Judge, you'll agree, we've got to realize where the problems come from. What's the root cause? What's it going to take to fix it? Because you're going to have to deal with it in your courtroom. Believe it or not, it's coming. It's coming strong. Statistics show that it's on the rise, Judge.
Yeah, well, one stat that I got, there's 150 inmates a day in the state of Tennessee waiting for a mental health bed.
His is doing the same thing. Turn them gates down. Go ahead.
So you have 150 inmates in a local jail waiting for a mental health bed.
Wow.
76% of local jail inmates report mental illness.
Wow.
So we are running into it, and
it's excuse me, but there's nothing showing it's backing down. It's showing it's coming on stronger. Go ahead.
Everything I've looked at since we talked about doing this, show it's a rise.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's correct. And what he's talking about, that 150 inmates sitting in local jails waiting on that forensic evaluation or that mental health help, that's across all 95 counties.
Sure.
I can speak for Henry County Jail. We average probably 5 to 10 on the average daily that are sitting there waiting on some type of forensic evaluation of some type.
And hold on a minute. Now, Tennessee is not a poor state.
No.
We've got great big money. We've got a lot of rated A funds. So maybe when I get this judge, this guy that's going to run for governor, he needs to know about the mental health. I'm sure he knows about it.
I think that's a great idea, Mike, because that's where it's going to come from.
It's got to come from the state. Y'all can't fix it.
No,
but you know the problem. Has anybody in the state level ever called and said, Sheriff or Judge, do you got an idea on how to fix this problem? How to at least address it? Or they even acknowledge it's my question.
So I can't speak for the Judges Conference or the DA's Conference. I can speak for the Tennessee Sheriff's Association. We all talk amongst all of us all the time, and we have, over the past few years, there's been bills that we are for that would strengthen, some mental health funding or whatever that case may be, opening up some more beds for us,
right?
Whatever that case may be. But there's the association looks at those bills and decides what we want to promote or get behind and help push through. Sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. The mental health transport grant, that was a big thing for us to get as sheriffs to take a little bit of
Sheriff,
weight
I agree,
off of us.
But that's just getting them to the problem.
That's right.
We got to work on once we get them. I mean, if we had to pay cabs, let's do that. That'd be okay. But what I'm saying is, do we need more beds for y'all's two standpoint? Do what now?
I don't know about the beds, Mike. I can tell you this, that I've got a meeting with, I forgot her name. I have a meeting in January 26th, with the coordinator of the mental health courts in Tennessee. I've been following Bradley Owen in Gibson County. Judge Owen, he started a mental health court there in Gibson County beginning December 1st. That's a grant from the mental health state department. So I've got a meeting with them to see if that's something that Henry County could qualify for. It's a grant.
Right.
It's a more intensive program, and I think that's something that we needed.
Yeah.
There's 20 in the state. Judge Owen made the 21st one. And so that's something I'm looking to bring to Henry County.
Do you know any details of what it provides for the mental health?
So obviously my jurisdiction would just be 11 months, 29 days. It's a misdemeanor.
Right.
Those people, it'd be a type of probation, but it's more stringent. Now they can't be a violent offender or a sexual offender.
It's earmarked to battle mental illness then.
That's correct.
I like that.
They have to have a diagnosis of a severe or persistent illness to qualify, and they have to volunteer for it. And what we do is we work with local mental health providers such as Carrie and other providers.
Right.
We would have they would have to come to court more often. They would be obviously still on probation, and they have to follow all of the rules and all of the things the provider asks them to do, medication wise.
Stability back in their life.
Correct. And
That's
so
great.
we'd keep them on for 11 months, 29 days to make sure, instead of putting them in jail with Josh, that they're getting the help that they need.
I like that idea.
And so I'm I'm really excited about following Judge Owen down in Gibson County and watching him. Like I said, he just started December 1st.
Right.
And meeting with mental health coordinator. I'm going to get her name here in a second.
You're fine.
Stacy Lee.
I could tell you it gets better, but it don't.
but Stacy Lee, and we've got a meeting set up January 26th.
You know, so basically
that.
what it's going to be is it's going to do one or two things. It's going to take them and kind of take the load off the jail having to deal with mental health. Like you said a while ago, they send them back to you and you hold them till they get a bed open. You know, you're kind of a hotel for the mental health sometimes.
Sometimes.
And so then what you're going to do is you're going to say, all right, your mental health, you fit the criteria of this program. We're going to put some structure in your life. We're going to give you the medication. We're going to make sure you're taking medication. Make sure you do this X, Y, and Z. And if you do, your 1129 will not be in the jailhouse. It'll be basically wherever that mental health happens at. And I can see that's good. I can see at least it's a step the right way, Judge.
Well,
I'm glad to see you're getting them involved in that.
We can address any drug issues they
Sure.
have. And address their whole being, their well-being, to get them back on the path to make them productive citizens. That's all we want is people to be productive.
That's all we need. I mean, we everybody has issues. I mean, we do. Nobody's perfect, except for me. But anyway, that's a joke. But I'm glad to see that you're trying to do something. You're not just going to sit there. And I'm not saying the judge that you're replacing hasn't. Sure, she's tried too. Vicky's done an excellent job. But there's new ideas out there, and you're grabbing at those ideas. They happen to be coming along during your time, and I understand that. But you're really listening, and you're trying to address a problem because you know it there from your years of being an attorney. You can see the problem.
For 16 years, I've been an attorney, and I've dealt with it. And the person Josh was talking about earlier, I've represented that person in the past, and I know what they deal with. Yeah. And so I think it's just the next step to try to keep them out of the judicial system.
Right.
And
I wish this. Go ahead, sir.
Well, in 2023, there was 777 homicides in the state of Tennessee. Compare that to there was 3,500 drug overdoses, 1,200 suicides, and 1,100 alcohol deaths.
Wow.
Compared to only 777 homicides. So people killing each other is not the problem.
No. That's an issue, but we got bigger issues out there. And a lot of that homicide, if mental illness was dealt with, that number better come down too.
It might. But I'm more concerned about the drug overdoses and the suicides because that's part of mental health.
It is. And you're willing to tackle it.
I'm ready.
All right. Just what do you, Sheriff, what do you think? If you had a magic wand.
Ooh-wee. That's scary in itself.
I just take that wand away. But anyway, no, I'm being serious. What do you see? And I'm going to say before you answer a question, I'll give you time to think. I'm going to be fair than I was to him. What would you like to see done for the bill? There's a guy named Carl Gilbert that I consider him a friend of mine. He told me a story. Carl, if you're still on here and you'd like to share what you went through with your mental problems with Junior, our friend, I wish you would maybe somehow know I would patch you through and let you tell your story because you've got one hell of a story to tell. But Carl, if you're still out there, if you want to tell that story, I'll give you the chance. Go ahead, Sheriff.
So, talking about mental health and if I had the magic wand
what do you need as a sheriff? Yeah,
I think the biggest thing is, and we know we're in rural northwest Tennessee, and it's been hit here tonight, is the resources. Mm-hmm. We have limited resources. You got Cary Council that's handling several counties. I don't know exactly how many counties they are
Start running through our stuff we got to put up there, Kevin. Start running them through. We'll talk and we'll go to him as he pops them up. Go ahead, Sheriff. What would you say?
But they only have so many people to go around, and so with that, we are limited.
Back it up.
We're limited on our resources as to what they can even handle. I mean, they're overrun just like everybody else is overrun.
It's eating your budget that you could apply to other parts of your budget is being spent on this. But in Tennessee are 6 times more likely to be forced out of network for mental health care than for primary care. That's what you were saying a while ago, Judge. 937 Tennesseans have a mental condition. That's almost 1 million people in Tennessee have a mental illness. For reference, that is about 5 times the population of Knoxville. Wow. And we're 6. Okay, right here are the stark urban rural developments and availability of behavioral health providers across Tennessee. Now, this right here is going to blow your mind. If you look at Henry County, the green, basically we're 500 to 1,000 people per provider. That number's way off. The state average is 634, so we're right in there. The U.S. average is 380. We're not there. We're in that market between 500 and 1,000 patients per provider. What are we doing here, guy? How can that happen? That'd be like you trying to police this community with you and a deputy.
It'd be tough.
Yeah.
It'd be real tough.
And this is your areas y'all was speaking of a while ago.
There you go.
Of your regions, North Cary Counseling Center, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counties. And that's, I don't know, does that mean Dyer and Lake and all them counties, Crockett, have no? I don't see their color in there. Hell, they just on their own, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what their situation is, but I mean, you look at, there's actually 7 counties there, Mike, for Cary Counseling.
Yeah, I forgot Lake County over there. Yeah.
So, but that's a lot of people.
For how many beds?
No.
I mean, not beds, but how many providers do they have?
How many providers? I don't know, but
not many.
I'm sure not enough to go around.
No. So they just told us, back up just a minute, I'm going to work Kevin to death. To that statistics told, one more, the red one about the state of Tennessee, back right there, 937,000, let's say 1 million Tennesseans have a mental health problem. That's about 5 times the population of Knoxville. We're adding that area. Now go back to that last one. Remember, 1 million people. And let him pop. There you go. That number is also coming out of those green counties that part of our area. So how much are they, or that million are we adding to it? A big number.
I would say several.
And so them people right there at Cary are overwhelmed too, Judge.
Absolutely. The whole system's overwhelmed. And it takes, unfortunately, it takes money, and it's not popular to talk about spending money on mental health.
No. Well, the judge's budget down there, he's only budgeted so much, but he's having to spend some of his budget he needs to put on deputies and other places. You're having to put fighting mental illness, which is not really a sheriff's job. Tennessee, I don't really understand all this. It's 10.6 and every 10,000 people experiencing homelessness. And 2.8 change from 2019 and minus 35% from 2007. I don't believe that. This is old numbers. I think it's up since then. But total homeless in 2020 in Tennessee was 7,256. And I think that number's up to 15,000 in 2025. So it's jumped. And it tells you other numbers. Estimated homelessness is 5,600 of them is individuals, 1,500 people with families with children, 350 unaccompanied homelessness youth. 570 is veterans. That's a problem that the federal government ought to jump on right there. Veterans should never be home. That shouldn't even be in it. That should be a 0.
I agree.
And then 1,092 is chronic homelessness individuals. Chronic homelessness. I don't know what that means. Living in a tent, I would say probably. I don't know.
And some of that chronic homeless individuals, that may be some of your people too that choose that lifestyle.
That's probably. Now look here, you got 10.6 and every 10,000 people experiencing homelessness. That's too much.
One's too many.
Yeah, it is. It is. In a country that can feed the world, and we throw away enough food. Most restaurants right here throw away enough food. This is Nashville. It's 602 unsheltered people, 1,578 sheltered people. The unsheltered count was not conducted in 21 due to COVID-19. 21, it kind of stayed the same. And you go over to 22, look at how them numbers are growing. Sheltered is in the yellow, and blue is total number, and the gray is unsheltered. 22, 23, 24, and 25. It's just a growing, it's like corn growing in the field, Judge. That's okay. Northeast Tennessee homelessness count, 2022, 2024. I know this is not around here, but it's a state problem. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all. It's not just local. In 2022, there's 392. This is the growth pattern. Now watch this. 23, 572, 24, 687. In 2 years, it's nearly time and a half. Folks, there's something got to be done. Where do we go?
Kevin, can you go back? You showed a slide earlier. It was a graph. It was all the states across the United States. That one right there.
Yeah.
Of course, I know it's difficult to see.
It is
on the big one. You've got it zoomed in on the Tennessee stats there. But if you go over and look at the very bottom, you got Mississippi, Louisiana, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Iowa.
He's magic, ain't he?
South Carolina.
Yeah.
And we got Tennessee up here. My question is it less in like Mississippi, Louisiana, Virginia?
Yes.
Because they have less population, or are they doing something different that other states aren't doing to reduce? And if they're doing something different, can we get some ideas from those states?
Well, this is what I found out. I wasn't going to bring this up. We was not even going to talk, but they're doing a lot of pushing, is what I'm hearing from some law enforcement. Do you remember the show Rocky, when they put him in the cop car, carried him to the county line, put him out, and said, we don't want this in our county, right?
Right, sure.
And that used to happen around here. And it's happening a lot in your rural counties down south. They're pushing the problem, which is always went on. It's like hoboing. Back in the day, they knew not to get off a train in certain towns because they wasn't friendly to them.
Right.
And that's still going on today in some counties. Now, I'm not saying that's the answer, and it's not the answer. But if they can't take care of the problem and they didn't make the problem, what do you expect some of these law enforcement to do? If Henry County's predominantly problem was from out-of-counters or out-of-staters, and it was eating up your budget, you'd probably have to do some extreme measures too.
Sure.
What do you think, Judge? I mean,
it's a problem, and
I'm not saying that's the whole problem. Why?
Right.
But I know that goes on in your rural states. Go ahead.
No, I go back to, I was reading about Margaret Mead. I don't know if you know who Margaret Mead is. She was a cultural anthropologist, and whether you agree or disagree, she had this quote that I found today. And I think this answers our question about how we fix this. And her quote was, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has."
It's true.
So it takes this conversation that we're having and other people having conversations and committing to change this problem.
Yes, there's some having it, but it's not enough of it. When I called y'all, I've got to admit, when I called you, Judge, and asked you, you said yes. When I called you, Judge, you said yes. So y'all are willing to have the conversation, but there's not enough of it. There's not enough people doing what I'm doing. When I'm not bragging on myself, it's not about me, just doing what I'm doing, what I mean, having this conversation. We got to start somewhere. Unless you want to keep seeing when you driving your children out to eat supper, there's a homeless guy walking up to your window begging for food and begging for money, and then you realize there's something wrong with him. Do you continuously want to see that and it grow? If you don't, you better start having conversations to the people that matter. I'm going to talk to the governor guy, that's the candidate for governor. I'm going to ask him what his plans are. They may be more worried about nuclear attacks from Russia. Well, hell, that's not as apt to happen as homelessness numbers are growing. We need to address these problems because it's going to eventually get to where it's going to be a budget problem.
Sure. Well, and that's why I'm looking at this mental health court thing too, and working with Josh and trying to come up with a solution that we're not putting them in jail. They're not getting Josh and them can't medicate them at the jail. They don't have the facilities to take care of them. That's right.
A sheriff and a jail was not set up to deal with mental health. It happens, but they're set up to deal with criminal acts and basically fist fights and drunks is what y'all was set up for. Now it's turned into where you're police, you're God, you're the banker, you're the
not God, but
they want you to be. You got to fix everything with them.
But let me say, just touching on what Chad says too. I mean, we've had these conversations amongst some of the attorneys and myself and the judge and in the past. We all have been trying to figure out things to do for some time. The good thing about Henry County is all of us get along. As far as elected officials go, we always get along. So if Chad brings an idea to the table and I'm able to do that and help on my side of things, I'm willing to do that. I know at the same time, if I bring an idea to the table and one of the other entities in town can help, we all try to work hand in hand, one after the other, doing and pulling our own weight to try to make this thing work. Yeah. And we're not opposed to trying stuff. Sometimes it doesn't work and you drop back and punt and you try something else, and we're willing to do that.
You throw stuff at the walls and sometimes stuff sticks.
That's right.
Because there's no cut and dry judge and sheriff both. There's no book to read. Say, this is what you do to combat mental health and homelessness. There's no book on it. I think it boils down to what I've come out of our discussion tonight. And y'all correct me where I'm wrong. I think it's a money issue that the state of Tennessee in this part has dropped the ball on. They've not kept up with the mental illness, and we're starting to see it. And it's only going to grow until the judges and the sheriffs can get the funding they need, which is the hospital beds to put people in, if they can deem mental health and deal with them. And maybe these housing projects around here, maybe we need to go back and relook again to the felony part. Maybe, if some of these mental illness people do have felonies, if it is not, child abuse or sexual molesting. I'm just talking about drug deal. Put them in a house. Get them off the streets. The state of Tennessee funds these people that. Why don't we need to look at that? I think that's an avenue that could help, get some people off the street. Because once you get them in a house, y'all correct me where I'm wrong, and anybody correct me, I think that's the first part of working on mental health is giving them 4 walls. It's structured. Y'all agree?
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So we talked about, and like Chad said, he's represented the client I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's just one instance of one person.
There's thousands across the state every day.
Well, I'm just talking Henry County alone. I see it day in and day out. Chad will know some of the same people if I were to be able to give names right now. I can tell you I've got 2 that come to mind right off the top of my head that's probably been arrested 100+ times in this county for low-level misdemeanor crimes. Their issue is mental health due to some type of substance abuse. But now they're to the point that it's completely a mental health situation. They keep coming back. We put them in. They go to Western. They get them on their meds. They come back. Are we doing the right service to that person by getting them on their meds? They come back. They're here for a week. They're off their meds. They're right back with me. It's a rinse, repeat all over. I mean, we're doing the same exact thing. We got to do something different. We got to do something better, and we got to figure out what that is and how that.
Einstein made the best comment. Y'all know who Einstein was. He said doing the same thing over and over and over, but expecting a different result is a form of mental health.
Sure.
Is mental health, we know it's growing, but what's causing the mental health issues? Is it, is it something that's happening to people in their younger ages? This is something I don't want to touch, but I'm going to say it myself. Is it maybe some of these shots your children are getting when they're younger? There's 1 million people across Tennessee, and that's just Tennessee get mental health. Multiply that by 50.
I
that's
think
50 million.
It's a whole list of things.
Yeah, it could be.
It's the society we live in. We're an instant gratification society.
We are that.
But
there's something.
You can get on all these phones.
Yeah.
It's
something's
everything.
Happening. Something's happening to cause the mental health to have 1 million of it. And I'm sure Tennessee's not the largest state out there. Some of them's going to have 10 million. So we're looking at approximately, if that million number, which I don't believe on these statistics we've given is false, we're looking at approximately 75 million people in America out of approximately 350 million have a form of mental health.
Yep.
That's insanity.
Well, and Chad brought it up earlier. He didn't go real deep into it because none of us really like to talk about the COVID time anymore.
Yeah.
But that drove some mental health issues. People were were made to stay away from each other for a lot. You know,
there's some still practicing that.
But you talk to the people that's in the education field, these teachers. There's a big difference between kids that are in school now versus kids that were in school during the COVID times, and they weren't allowed to socialize with their peers.
That's a different story in itself.
You got it. I mean, we can go down that rabbit hole all day long.
Oh, man, we've made some very, very questionable decisions as a society during COVID.
We did.
We went crazy, dude. When you have to stand at a window and look in a nursing home and wave at your parents in there.
Sure.
What in the hell? Don't get started, because I do not know how to stop when it comes to that question. Right there. I've seen some stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life because of COVID. Y'all have to agree. Y'all seen it too. I mean, if they told you that COVID was only 4 foot off the ground and up, 3 foot down, you was cleared. You know how many people be crawling around?
Yep.
There'd be a lot of them.
Yep.
You couldn't even go to Walmart for stepping on people.
You got it.
Judge, you got something coming up you got to get home to. I appreciate it. Anything else you want to say? Hey, you both have got elections coming up. And we got to talk about that. Before we get to that, anything else you want to add to? And I want to tell you how much I appreciate you coming in. And having this conversation is something that really needed to happen. And let's don't let it stop. Let's keep this conversation going. If there's ever a thing called momentum, it's momentum, because it's not getting better. I've sat here and I work uptown. I live in the county, but I work right in the middle of this town, and I see what's happening. I'm the old barbershops back in the day. I feel the pulse of this county. You know that, Sheriff. That's true. And I see what's going on. I see what the people are saying out there. They're not blaming law enforcement by no means, but they're knowing there's a problem. But we're starting to get to the point where we walk. I showed y'all a picture a while ago. I'm not going to show it. I showed y'all that picture. That's how it's gotten in this county. In the city of Paris, we're turning into California as far as walking right by mental health and never just act like it ain't there.
Sure.
And I can remember when it wasn't like that. When you had a mental health, can I help you? Is something wrong with you? Now we walk away or we lock our door from it. We're past the part of finding out the problem. We got to go back and pick that part up. Anything else you want to add to it?
Well, we're the volunteer county, the volunteer state.
Exactly.
And we got a great group of people in this county, and
we do.
So many organizations that are willing to help.
Yeah.
And I think that we start the conversation, not that we just started. I'm sure it's going on outside of this building tonight.
And I hope it's talking.
And we need, and I'm open.
Yeah.
My door's open for any suggestions. We talk through things.
Sure.
I'm ready to hit the ground running and tackle this problem as best we can. A lot of this is out of our hands. But we can, just like that quote I read earlier.
Yeah, it starts with this.
It starts with us.
And it's not going to be out of our hands, because you're going to be a day when the county commission has to deal with a problem. Hey, we've got X, Y, and Z, and it's all related to mental health.
I just want people that there shouldn't be a stigma attached. And if you're suffering from mental health, reach out to somebody for help. Just ask for help. Somebody
said they want to appreciate Judge Cox and Sheriff Frey for actually sitting down and discussing the issues at hand. And he also said jails are not mental health facilities. So the publics appreciate what y'all are doing, like I do. To take y'all from a busy night, there's a lot going on. It's close to Christmas, and there's other things that you'd rather be doing. I know you don't have to do this, but I appreciate y'all both coming in and talking about this with me. Have we solved the problem? No. Could we? Sure we could. If we had the people that mattered to take what we said, us three could solve this problem, because we all know what's happening. Not solve the problem, we could solve it, come up with a solution to help the problem. But they're not going to do it to you, the viewer. Start contacting your elected officials and keep hammering, mental health, mental health, mental health, mental health, mental health. Because there's other priorities that's taking their time away from you, but you're going to have to do that. Sheriff, you got election coming up.
Yes, sir.
Second term, brother. God, it's been fast.
Be the second full term, anyhow.
Yeah.
August the 26th, and
That ain't long off.
It's not long off. But look forward to continuing on what we're doing. But just like Chad said, it's don't be scared to reach out if you need some help. And again, if you've got some ideas, my door's open, phone call, whatever. We'll take any idea that somebody has, and we can talk through it and see if that's a viable option. And like I said earlier, we can always try stuff. It doesn't work, we drop back and punt and try something different.
Well, a chain's got however many links it takes to make a chain. So their ideas with your ideas, his ideas, and Joe and Blow, all them ideas will make a chain, and that chain will tie that together.
That's right.
Yep.
So you got a election coming up in August?
I do. I start my appointed position February 1st. Judge Snyder retiring January 31st. So come out to courthouse about 2 o'clock on Sunday, and we're going to get sworn in and hit the road, hit the ground running on Monday morning. And then we have an election to fill the final 4 years of her term. Right.
So that's going to be a very important job. And I got one question to ask you as incoming judge. This just comes up to me a lot. People doesn't know and ask me, where in the hell you gonna get a robe to fit your 7'9" body?
Well,
I got an idea. We're gonna go to Walmart, get some blackout curtains, and have them sew up.
Actually, Mike, we contacted Nashville Tent and Ornament, and it's being made right now.
Dude, I thought I'm tall. But we're gonna do pictures when it's over, and y'all can see. If you don't know Chad personally, the dude is tall. He's huge.
Yeah. I'm just excited. I'm ready to serve the people of the county, and I look forward to it.
I appreciate you coming in, but I really appreciate you stepping up and taking over the reins as General Sessions and juvenile judge, because you've got issues.
And we didn't even get into the juvenile aspect tonight.
We didn't. But, I try to keep it an hour and 15 minutes, but I think we did a great job. But the people are saying that they just appreciate y'all two coming in and just willing to sit out here and even talk about it. Did we solve the problems? No, but we know there's a problem.
Well, we brought some light to some of the problems.
Exactly. And as a judge, you're going to deal with that, and as a sheriff, you're going to deal with it. I didn't know who else to go to when I wanted to talk about it, because it went back to my buddy, two of my friends that's lost their life to mental illness. And one's too many. And 15,000, 20,000, as they're saying, is way too many.
Sure.
So I appreciate y'all guys, man. I really do.
Yes, sir.
And
thank you.
Good luck on your endeavors coming up in February. You're going to hit the ground running wide open, and just keep doing what you're doing, brother. Just keep being the same Chad that I've known for years, and we'll be blessed to have you as a judge.
Well, I appreciate that, Mike.
All right, Sheriff. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
And I've seen the morale at the sheriff's department growing. I've never seen as much happiness, and I think you're doing an outstanding job as our sheriff. I'm proud to support you. I'm proud to support Chad too. Which that's well known. I support him.
I tell everybody I'm just a bus driver. I got the right people in the right seats.
I like that idea.
It's a team effort for us.
There's no I in team, is it?
That's right.
You know what I like about it is you let your deputies do the job, and then you let them take all the credit for their job. You don't get to toot the horn.
Yeah.
You don't get to wave at the kids. You don't get to throw the candy out, but let that train jump tracks who catches hell.
That's right. That's right.
I just want to say that, Mike, I was really shocked that we had this show tonight and you actually could talk, because yesterday you had a tooth pulled.
Yeah.
Just right out of your mouth with no numbing or anything, right?
That should be, yes. That was horrible.
I thought that's probably the only time Mike Weatherford's ever been quiet.
Well, it didn't work.
Okay.
I got you. He wasn't going to let me get by with the tallness. I like that about him. But we are blessed. I'm going to say it one more time. He's a good guy. He's a friend. I've known him for a long time, and Chad's a straight-up guy. Hell of an attorney. That's the part we're losing. We're losing another good attorney. But, we're gaining an excellent judge, and I think it's going to work out. But
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I may not get it right every time, but I'm going to do my best to.
No, you're young, and you've been out there. You've been on both sides. You've been a defense attorney. You know what goes on. You know how it goes on. You've worked with this man over here for forever.
We worked in Paris Police Department.
That's right.
Exactly.
So y'all guys know each other, and you spoke on that earlier. We've got a good community of elected officials.
We do.
We're blessed. We've got issues we need to fix. Hell yeah, we do. And mental health is just one other issue. There's other issues that need to be worked on. But it starts with a conversation. And where else but Henry County, the county that we all love, can you get the judge and the sheriff to sit down and talk about something as serious and as it's kind of a taboo subject, mental health.
It is.
We did it.
But it's getting better. I will say it's getting better.
I agree. It needs to be. Mental health shouldn't be no more, yeah, man, I've got a heart trouble, or I've got diabetes, or you should be able to say I've got mental health, and nobody looks at the stigma is not there.
That's right.
Because it's just an issue it's a medical issue that some people just have that problem with, and hell, I have it. You believe I have anxiety?
I believe that.
Would you believe it? Sometimes I have anxiety?
Well,
yeah. You heard that? God talk to me. But I do have that, and I learned myself. Maybe somebody else has anxiety, and I'm going. And y'all would never believe that. But sometimes I walk into a crowded room, I want to run. I want to. I know until you have that anxiety, you'll understand. Folks that has that wouldn't understand what I'm saying. I'm not medicated for it. I take no medication for anything. Here's what I do. I tell myself that I'm not allowed to have an anxiety attack, a panic attack, unless certain things happen. This case in point, sometime when I do this show live, and he counts me down, and bam, there's my picture. Yeah, I feel it coming on. And I say, you can't do this, Mike, unless the roof falls in and the place catches on fire. And that's just something crazy I do in my mind, but I've taught myself that I can't have a panic attack unless it passes certain criteria. And it works for me, and I've talked to other people that I've told them to apply that. Don't allow yourself to fall off that unless certain things happen that you know is not going to happen more than likely. I don't know what would happen if I said, if all of a sudden the fire alarm and something else went off when I told myself I couldn't have a panic attack unless the cow's caught on fire. What would happen if I did? But it works for me. I know it sounds crazy, but I've talked with other people, and they said, Mike, that has helped me some. You don't allow yourself to go into panic attack. Is that mental health? I'm sure it is.
Sure.
But I have panic attack. Chad, Sheriff, appreciate y'all both, man.
Yes, sir.
Y'all
Thank
great
you.
men.
Thank you.
Great men. Great conversation. All right, folks, there you go. We've been talking with General Sessions Juvenile Judge Chad Cox and Henry County Sheriff Josh Frey. Hey, these guys, you got to commend them for sitting down and having this conversation. We should be having these more of them. It should be everywhere having conversation. Did we solve it? No, sir. But we don't even know what's causing all of this. We got ideas in our head, but at least we started it. We started the ball rolling, and I don't believe neither one of these people will stop the ball from rolling. You heard them. If you got any ideas, any questions, anything, call them. They're willing to talk with you, especially if you're an organization or anybody that thinks you've got a program that might help. We're all ears. We all want to fix this thing called mental health. So I want to thank these guys for coming in, taking their time right here at Christmas time. There's a lot of things they could be doing, but that tells you how much they believe in you, the Henry County and I know I'm watched across the world, but it's what we're talking about tonight affects you no matter where you live, because mental health is not just a local problem. It's not even a state problem, Bubba. It's a national problem, and we all got to deal with it. It's getting worse, not getting better, so that's what I want. Don't forget, next week I have got a candidate for governor, Monty Fritz, coming in. He's going to be talking to me about why I should vote for him for governor. I've never met the fella, don't know much about him, but I will ask him about mental health now that I have been talking about tonight to find out what he thinks should be happening to it. That's going to be he says more liberty and less government is what he runs on, so we'll find out if he's going to be the man for us to vote for governor coming up next year. All right, folks, that's coming up next week. And don't forget, guys, Christmas is coming up. And my present, top shelf, that's what I want. This is for Dana in the back. I tell her all the time, you got to get a ladder to get my present. If you got to bend over and get it, I don't want a top shelf. Trophies need top shelf. Hey, I want to thank everybody in the back for doing what I do every week. I want to thank Kevin Kill, Scott Norwood, Dana Allen, because they are the ones that bring you this show. All I do is sit out here and talk and do a bad job at that, but I do the best my mental mind will let me do. And I want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in. Hey, tell your family, tell your friends. If they haven't done it yet, find us on one of the platforms, share us, and do the major thing is follow us to let us know that you like what we're doing. And thank our sponsors every week. When you see them, say, hey, I appreciate you sponsoring the Mike Weatherford Show, because I get all kind of emails all the time from y'all telling me how much you enjoy what we do. And let my sponsors know. They're the one that pays the bills, And tune in next week, same time, same place. And like I always say, don't be late.
The Mike Weatherford Show is recorded live in the Brewer Street Mafia Studios in downtown Paris. a Kill Media Brewer Street Mafia production.